Good evening, race fans, and welcome to virtual Alton, Virginia, as the drivers of Sunday Night Skippy are preparing for a 40-minute race around Virginia International Raceway's North Course. For the second weekend in a row, it's been an absolutely fantastic weekend of real-world racing. And once again, I can't think of a better way to end it than spending the evening with all of you, the viewers, as we watch the Skip Barber Formula 2000s whiz around these 17 turns of this 2.25 mile track. As a quick reminder, we are simulcasting tonight on both CavOK Racing Network's YouTube and Twitch platforms. Just search for CavOK Racing, that's C-A-V-O-K. As always, feel free to join the conversation with your comments and questions. We're monitoring the comments section of both YouTube and Twitch, and we'll try to get to them as time permits. Tonight's race is brought to you by McDowell's. When you're in the mood for 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a bun with no seeds, just look for the golden arcs and ask for a Big Mick. Speaker City, now with 6 locations citywide and slashing prices on everything from beepers to DVD players. And special promotional consideration from Soylent Corporation, feeding the world, one person at a time. Alright. Joining us tonight, Max will be calling the action from his computer, which has been hardwired to the internet, so we're hoping for some better performance tonight. But how are you doing tonight, Max?
Good, thanks. I'm really excited to see how the race will turn out. Last race, I couldn't really be here this entire time, but for the part I was here, it was good, so yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's race. VIR.
Awesome. Well, it sounds better already, so hopefully we can keep that up. And as always, joining us in addition is your dad, Ian, who's going to be bringing us the everybody's favorite, the pre-race track introduction, and then sticking with us, time and time off to give us some in-race broadcast goodness. So, Ian, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad at all, my friend. Not too bad. How's everybody out there? I hope everybody's well and surviving and enjoying life.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. I can only speak for myself, but we've got, looks like 7 viewers so far. Whoever's out there, thanks for joining us. And I mean, we got 7 people that are healthy, so that's good.
Yeah. Not coughing, hopefully.
Well, we'll let Ian finish up this lap. We're focusing on you, Ian. I'll keep an eye on you next time around for the track tour. I'm going to introduce some. Hopefully this works. New features. And the data is not quite there yet, but I thought I'd unveil just a little bit of it to see just how it works. So one thing I haven't been able to figure out is why the last names aren't showing up, but you can see the current championship standings there, according to Dan Lisa, as we go into the race. So I'll continue to work on that and make sure the accuracy is there and what have you, but I know especially toward the end of the list here, it's becoming less and less accurate. But yeah, if you guys like that feature, we'll try to clean that up a little bit and where we can go from there. Things to bring up. Edwin's got a pretty good lead on everybody, but James and Christian also kind of out there. But after that, it's pretty tightly grouped, so we've got still some big championship implications going into the rest of the season. Nothing is for sure. All right. How you feeling, Ian? Ready to take us around one lap?
Yeah, why not? I'm using a push-to-talk button tonight, so if I suddenly stop talking in the middle of a sentence, it's because I've had to let it go to go around the corner. So that's over the start-finish line right there, and we come flat out as fast as we can up to here. And I'm going to gracefully screw that corner up as I went flying over. So we are actually approaching that corner at about 115, 120 miles an hour. And we have to brake And if you look and see the corner, it's all the way around here and all the way around here. Maybe I'll get another chance to do that. And then we come along here, going from first, second, third, up into fourth, braking again down into third, slide it around here, and then we come into what they call the snake. So we're going to go down into second, drag it around here, and then it's going to be pinning the throttle from here all the way to the uphill. So it's flat out, just going up through the gears, ignoring these curbs. Makes your arms ache by the end of the day, but that's okay. This is a 2.5 mile track, 17 corners. We brake a little bit, change gears, drop down over that little uphill bit there. Car gets really light on the top of it, and then we get into a part here we're going to call the roller coaster. But again, we're now flat out in fourth gear, just managing the car, trying to keep it in the tarmac before we brake at this blind corner. We can't see where the corner is. Right there, all the way down in the first. Working our way back up through the gears again to this nasty little off-camber downhill piece before we want to get a really good launch out of there. That corner's called the hog pen. I think there used to be a bunch of pigs that were kept down there at one point in time. And then we're back on the start-finish straight. You can see all the tents of all the drivers there on your right-hand side as we pass the pits. And again, blasting down. Hopefully I can do a bit better on this corner this time. There you go, and then sliding it around while accelerating up again, and then driving back up through the gears. That was a little better, eh?
I mean, it's looking good, man. That's, not as much as the full course in terms of drafting, but that certainly doesn't mean it's not without its long stretches where drafting will be a factor.
That's very true. You can actually draft all the way through these snake parts and start to get yourself set up. You're looking for passing in this area. Along here, you'll see a bit of passing coming into the uphill. You're right here. And brave people will be doing that, very brave. Or at least people who trust the person that they're overtaking. Through this sector, I don't think you'll see much overtaking. You'll probably see more people getting themselves set up to overtake when we get onto the start-finish straight. There really isn't much room. And you probably are not going to see a lot of overtaking happening on this area. You might see some folks letting folks by, because it is going to be one of the challenges this week is going to be managing back markers and people being able to pass them out. And then there's this entrance to the pit right there. So of course, when they're going into the pits, they'll be dashing in through right there.
You gotta imagine if you haven't practiced the pit entry, that looks real quick entry. So you might be able to pick up a second or two here and there if you're able to practice that. The other thing too, you were mentioning that hog pen turn at the bottom of the hill, kind of off camber as you're going toward the front stretch. I'd call it. It's not a straightaway.
We call it isn't. It isn't straight.
I would anticipate seeing, especially on colder tires, some cars mowing some lawn out there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for lawn mowing on this track, and in fact, if you just get a wheel wrong, you go flying. You really do. But it's a lovely track.
Yeah. No, it is. I'm really excited for this. You know, there's certainly some braking zones for passing, but there's also the fast parts that everybody likes. You know, those are the exciting, at least to watch. I'm sure it's a little nerve-wracking to drive, but especially I'm showing 41 drivers who are currently getting ready to qualify this evening. So that's going to add.
We're going to be doing individual qualifying, so we won't be able to do our usual qualifying broadcast.
Well, that is a change. So drivers will get an out lap and then 4 laps to set a hot time in their own private session. So, any sort of team potential advantage but it is going to be nullified. But you're also going to not have to worry about traffic elsewhere. All is well. Well, see you pulling in the pits here, Ian. I wish you good luck. May all of your laps be like Lando's last.
That would be just amazing.
All right, my
Yeah.
friend. Well, would you like to go into the interview standby booth, or are you gonna hang out here with us?
I can hang. No, stick me in the interview standby booth today, please.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, we'll pull you in on occasion, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, Max. Well, we've got close call qualifying here now. We're it's slightly different. It's what you'd be used to in the public races, of course, but just not something that we're used to doing here necessarily.
Yeah.
Be curious to see how that works out for everybody. It kind of normalizes. We see and go around there. We'll focus in on Don Parks here for a little bit. Kind of normalizes it a little bit and rewards those who are just good at hot lapping. You do get 4 laps. That's right around the edge of where you expect the tires to kind of get warmed up and scuffed up enough to have some good grip, especially in some of those more treacherous parts that your dad was just talking about.
Yeah. Talking about public races, my dad just recently won a public race. He got pole position and then led the entire race. So good for him.
First to
Hopefully
first.
he can try and do this on this race.
Yeah, that's a good motivating. That was earlier this afternoon, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hopefully that he can carry that energy with him into tonight's race.
Yeah.
The one quick thing here that I also wanted to show the good people, the drivers, something that we're trying to do moving forward, if I can get it to work, is our team standings. So I'm still trying to change that up a little bit, and we can't do points, like tenths of points, unfortunately, but try to round up. But we should be able to do this a little better moving forward as well. That will bring up before the race, and you can kind of see, obviously, across racing, which is Edwin and Christian just taking a commanding lead, and then after that, running on empty, doing solid second place for the team standings, and after that, pretty tightly packed all the way down to 6th or so. So pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Do you believe we have some... Thought I saw some newcomers in here. I apologize. Love to see Justin Rebello. I will get that pronunciation later. Apologies, but welcome to Justin. He'll be driving the 79 car this evening.
I think we lost you.
And, well, there's Brad Miller, who I don't believe we've called, but he's not currently grid right now. I think that might be it for new people. I apologize if we've called Victor Santos before in the 9 car. From San Tortazo's racing team.
I'm looking for any names that I don't recognize. Has sorry if I pronounce his name wrong. Rob Hop in here? I don't know.
Rob Hop, yeah. That's a good question. Yeah, we may have called him. I believe I got him mixed up with J.R. Hops before, but yeah. Either way, welcome to Rob Hop.
Welcome to everyone, because I can't remember who's new and who's not. I hope it's going to be a good race, though. I'm excited.
Yes, it should be for sure. Let's get the timing tower up here so we can see who's laying down what times. Pete Broughton currently with the best time of the evening, sitting on the pole with a 1:37.224. A reminder to those who don't do iRacing, these qualifying laps have to be clean, no off tracks or contact with anything, which would in this case be pretty tough. But Virginia isn't really known for having a lot, at least the North Course, not a lot of places you can really get an off track unless you're trying, as far as I know. Could be wrong about that.
Well, I mean, if I'm driving...
That's true. That is true.
I'm... Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm certainly not speaking for myself when I say that. That's. So that's why you may see them running times and maybe not registering the time. Decent move in here is Chris Herrera. Sets the pole. Christian Perez closely behind him, about 3/10 or so. So a little movement there up top. Walter Collada also setting a 4th place best time so far. Carl Dronke not to be outdone. Jack Moffitt and Jeff Torbeck also moving up in the grid. Check in here with Carl. We can see him. He's already sitting pretty right now in the pole position, but I don't think he's going to want to rest on those laurels, especially when you have people like Chris and Pete and Christian and Walter and really any of these guys. Edwin, of course, Jonathan. I don't think you're going to be able to call that good enough. So we'll see what the ultimate pole ends up being.
Yeah.
Here's Chris Herrera, currently sitting 2nd on the grid. Working his way down the roller coaster into Hog Pen. He comes across the line. Let's see if he's going to best himself. He will. Oh, but Christian Perez right after him now. Reminder, we are doing separate times. Sorry, go ahead, Max.
Christian Perez did a quick time. 1:53.442.
Yeah, Christian's pretty quick. He's currently, of course, I just had the standings up there, but you know, he and Edwin leading the team rankings right now. Christian currently sitting in 3rd. He does have one less start than most of the rest of the field. Certainly the front runners there who have had 4 apiece. So Christian still sitting in 3rd, even having missed a race. Now in this league there are 2 provisionals, so that won't matter much moving forward. And again, these standings are only a snapshot in time. Once we start having drop weeks and you know, there's bonus points to be had and penalties to be assessed. So just a snapshot in time, nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, currently sitting in 3rd. Newcomer Justin Rebelo. Of course, he's fast. He's got I rating in the 4,000s there for road. One would expect, but he's got a currently starting 5th.
Good job.
And Walter Collada had it for a minute. Christian takes the pole back. I don't think that if you can't blank.
Oh, Pete, Broughton, just took 2nd on pole. Well, not on pole, but like, yeah.
Yep, 2nd on the grid. Great time by Pete there. Looks like he's still gonna have time for another hot lap. Further down in the field, actually, Paul Bachler just moved up to 12th. Great movement by him. Takes that first turn just a little tight there. Victor Santos moving up to the 11th spot. Looks like he'll be done.
James Hauser looks like he might be going for his last lap. He might be on a hot lap right now. I don't know.
So if I'm not mistaken, James Hauser, this is his actual real life home track. He races and teaches here, so I would imagine. Oh,
he knows this track.
Yeah. He also apparently likes to volunteer his time mowing some lawn or the upkeep. All right, well, that's going to be it for the qualifying sessions. That was our first shot at that. Let's take a look at the grid. It comes up.
Looks like Christian Perez is first. Pete is second. Walter is third. James Hauser is fourth, and then so on and so on.
There you go. Christian Perez with the pole, 135. I don't know. That seems high. Why? I try to refresh that. Might be having some technical difficulties here. Nope, that's the one. So we'll just scroll through these here real quick as we wait for the field to grid. Well done by all these guys. You can see the times are going to be pretty tight. I think we're going to have a lot of close racing throughout the field.
Jeffrey Decker and Ian have like 138, 1, 2. It's just like one tiny millisecond or 100th of a second different.
So we had 38 people set a time with 4 who did not. We'll see if they actually end up gridding or not. So congratulations to everybody on their qualifying efforts. Let's take a look now at the field as they grid. Beautiful course.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're just waiting here now. Another 20 seconds max before we get going to
24
green.
seconds.
And Barney the flagman is ready.
Go!
Waving the green flag.
It looks like Christian Perez got a good start.
Very good start. He's going to get way out there.
Yeah.
We see the entire field of 41 cars making their way through turn 1, the horseshoe, making their way toward the NASCAR bend.
Oh, big crash! Big crash!
Big crash.
Who was it? It was Justin Rebello.
Jonathan Dance and Carl Dronke, were those guys also involved?
I'm gonna have to rewind it, but.
All right, well, let's see if we can't see
Let's see.
maybe what happened there.
What name did I just say again? I completely forgot.
Justin Rebello. This was all the way up there, yeah, and looks like Justin made contact to the rear of Carl, and Jonathan got caught up in it. So let's see. We'll try to look at that one more time from Justin's point of view. Looked fairly incidental, but all right.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Justin Rebella. No, I can't control this thing well enough.
Jake Ashe and Justin K have crashed. Just have to check that out here real quick. Looks like they were going through the snake. It is a oh, they were working their way up the hill. Very treacherous spot. I believe that was Carl Dronke who ended up catching the business end of that transaction. So Carl now in 2 wrecks. They go off-roading. So not a fantastic start for some of our early favorites.
Yeah.
Butler has crashed. Let's pull up our timing tower. That's true. That is very, very true. Peter Nodwell's crashed. Let's see if we can't get in. What happened there is Christian and Pete worked their way out to a pretty sizable lead. Yeah, just going down the... Trying to work their way down the roller coaster there at the top of it. That's tough. Kind of backs folks up. Like Ian may have almost got caught up in that. Like we may have it sorted now, though, as this group
Oh my gosh. Oh!
works their way.
Ian just got involved in a tiny little crash with Scott Dawkins and...
Oh my.
Yeah, well, Ian didn't crash, she just bumped tires and then kept driving, but it looks like Scott Dawkins had, like, was in the air. Oops.
Yeah, that was...
Painful.
Andrew Cole's still in the back there. Holy cow. Alright, let's see if we can't see what happened here.
I'm gonna see what happened, yeah.
Got some close racing going up front. We will catch back up with these folks. The wrecking was already happening. Scott tried to avoid it. Missing a wheel now. Trying to get rejoined on the track there. Yeah, that was a mess. We'll have to clean that one up later. That was all on lap 3. So let's try to get caught back up here. We've been focusing enough on the crashes. Let's see what's going on. Back up here at the lead. Christian Perez, Pete Mulbroughton. Pete Mulbroughton set at a hot time at the moment of 1:36.524. Looks like we have more crashes. Robert Longatano. VIR Hoops has crashed as well.
Oh my gosh, we have a lot of crashes so far.
A lot of off tracks in addition to that, so we'll just keep our eyes on this. It's going to be another 4 seconds back to James Hauser, another 1.3 seconds back to Edwin Viorino in 4th, and it looks like we actually further back from these two do have some good, a little closer racing with Edwin Victor and Jack Moffitt. They've got a 2.6 second lead on Chris Herrera, who's running currently with Jason Bice. And then another 1.5 seconds back to Mike Bowers, who looks like maybe 9th through 16th has some pretty good racing. Let's go check on this train of Skip Barbers.
It looks like Jonathan Dance just had it off track.
Dance, he was involved early on. He's back there in the 34th position currently.
Yeah.
Team Adequate Racing.
It looks like Jake Oshay. Did I pronounce his name right?
Yep.
Okay, it looks like he had it off track as well. I'm just scrolling through all the racers, just seeing what they're up to.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. We've got quite a number of drivers who've already had to make their way to pit lane for repairs. Oh, and that's, who is that? Don Parks off the track, but he makes his way back on cleanly.
Oh, Ricky. I don't
Burrows?
know how to pronounce. Yeah, Ricky Burrows just got in a crash with I think Oliver Hartley. Oliver Hartley touched wheels with Ricky and he got sent flying. He lost his entire wheel.
Yep, I'd say so. If we can't watch that from up top.
Okay, so it was
Like Oliver was slow.
yeah, and then Oh yeah, he just basically kind like barely bumped.
Red
Yeah.
Miller also getting slow. Looks like he was just letting everybody by. Not 100% sure. Going into the pits, maybe. All right. Anyway, back up here with Christian and Pete. They're working their way up to lap traffic. Bring up that map. Trying to keep it as uncluttered as possible, but we'll start adding stuff here for people's situational awareness as the field gets more spread out, obviously. You see all the drivers circled in blue on the track map. That's going to be folks who are down a lap or at least are about to be lapped. You see Jonathan Dance here being the next, oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, and they're going to make contact there with the 4 of Joe Zubovich. Trying to get around the traffic there.
Oh, it looks like
Next,
Pete just passed Christian.
right along here with Christian. Yeah, it was just a goofy trying to make their way around some back markers, and looked like unfortunate, but Pete and Christian good.
Christian overtakes Pete again.
Good being good competitors. Looks like they sorted it out. I don't see too much damage or anything, so they will continue on. And if we're being honest here, they've still got quite a lead on the rest of the field. Let's look here at Pete Mobrotten. We can't bring up the hide that for a second and go to James Hauser, who's running pretty consistently slower times at the moment, although James was able to gain about a second on that last lap because of that. I would imagine that's because of that incident they had trying to get around the lap traffic. Take a look back here. Victor Santos has got Edwin Viorino and James Hauser right ahead of him. These three have worked themselves up into a little drafting conglomerate, looks like. Maybe if they can't catch up to the lead 2. They do have a ways to go, though. A little over 5 seconds, unfortunately, for them. A little further back yet, by a couple seconds, is Jack Moffitt, who's got Chris Herrera and Jason Bice in tow.
Oh, it looks like Ricky. He just like hit the wall, I think, or got really
Burrows
close
off track again. About 3 seconds back from this group, we've got Walter Collada and Mike Bowers.
Hey, I just realized something.
What's that?
Barry Stockdale has the same Skippy barber paint as I do on mine.
This is a treacherous track to try to pass. Slower traffic. They do try to communicate over that common frequency that they have, but sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds, even when you have the best intentions.
It looks like everybody's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so. A little further back from these guys, Paul Bachler, got Don Parks, Steve Dewar, and Adam Wright. These Train of 4 cars will round out your top 14. Kind of spreads out a little after that to Sean Trediak, Alexei Dronov, and then you're gonna have another 6 seconds back to Jeffrey Decker, Jeff Torbeck, and Justin Ribello. Looks like there's some good side-by-side racing going on here, though. This is for the 17th position overall.
It looks like James Hauser what the heck happened? Edwin
Yeah, James Hauser was in pit road. Doesn't sound right.
And Victor Santos, they're all like kind of close racing.
They make their way around Jonathan Dance. Jonathan having a pretty rough race after that early race contact. Check in here. I know we've got team running on empty watching, so we'll see Chris here work his way around Jonathan as well. He's got Jack Moffitt and Jason Bice, two very fast guys right behind him. Chris currently sitting a little over 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds to Victor. It'd be real nice to get that top 5. If you can't pull those guys along with them. Well, we are approaching-ish the halfway mark. It's a 40-minute timed race. We do limit the amount of fuel that you're allowed to carry, which will necessitate a pit stop. So eventually here, it's usually around the halfway, but some will undercut by a couple minutes if they've done some pretty good fuel savings on the front end. And then you'll see some try to eke out as much as they can on the first split and pit as late as possible. So we'll see how the pit strategy starts coming into play.
Wait, did you say like a couple minutes ago that team running on empty is watching, or are they racing?
Well, there's team running on empty that's racing, but Chris Herrera does have what I would assume is one of the best fan bases in the Sunday Night Skippy League that watches us live and video on demand.
I don't quite understand what you mean by like fan bases.
Oh, he just has some friends and family that watch the broadcast.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Take a look here. Chris is actually gaining pretty well on Santos the last few. He's earning a couple tenths a lap. He's got a total a little over 2 seconds now, so it might take him a little bit to catch up, but he is eating into that gap, and he seems to have left Jason and Jack behind just a bit.
Yeah.
All right, what's up?
This has been a good race.
Yeah, some early race shenanigans, which you kind of expect. Cold tires, large field, and a tricky track.
Everybody grouped up and stuff.
Yep. It's tough. It looks like Christian Perez, speaking of pit stops, we've got Christian Perez in the pits at the moment. He's gonna be one of the first, I would say. Let's bring up our pit lap data for the timing tower. Now that we know we got some folks pitting. So that's interesting. Christian, who was separated from Edwin, although since he ended up separated from Edwin, it may work to their favor to get Christian in there early and meet back up on the other side of the pit stops. But that's going to leave Pete Mobrotten in the lead by 8, almost 9 seconds. He's just out there turning laps by himself, and his only hope is that Christian and Edwin can't get their stuff together at this point.
And Christian and Edwin's only hope is to get their stuff together.
Exactly. Exactly. There's Chris Herrera again. I just want to focus on him. We were talking, Victor Santos must have had some issue. He caught up a lot faster than what his lap times would have presumed. So we'll see. It's one thing to catch somebody, it's another to pass. Very difficult.
Well, we have a lot of skilled drivers, so
he's gonna try it going down into turn 1 there. They go into the horseshoe. Chris Herrera trying to make the move on the outside around Victor. Not gonna be able to make a stick this go around. Victor able to get the runoff. They head down toward NASCAR Bend. Chris peaks, decides better of it, falls back in line. He's not going to make any moves through here. He's going to get a good runoff going into the snake, though. Can he make it stick? Oh, man. Fantastic driving there by those two.
Yeah.
Well done.
Fighting this entire race, I think.
So Pete is pit now, and he still comes out in P12 at the moment. He's got Sean Trediak directly ahead of him. He's going to move out of his way as they go up the hill in turn 7. No fighting there. That leaves Edwin, who has not pit. You can see on the timing tower the pit stops. Edwin and James working their way down the front stretch. Will not pit this time, either one of them. James is trying to get into Edwin's draft there. So we will see how this all plays out. Christian Perez is currently on the front stretch himself. He's about to cross the start-finish line. That would be Edwin's teammate. It's like Adam Wright. Oh wow, we got a bunch of people actually moving into the pits. Wright, Gronov, Kache. A lot of people taking up the offer to fill up on that Sunoco race fuel, or whatever it is, Skip Barber's take. I honestly don't know. Santos in. Oh, he already was in. I don't know why that's messing up like that. Looking back here, we got Jeff Torbeck right on Jeffrey Decker. Checking out his gearbox. They're going to work their way through the snake as well. Let's see if he can't pull off a, we'll call that a Chris Herrera from now on. Gonna work their way up the hill, up turn 7 there. This is the battle for 13th. And both these drivers have a, oh, sorry, go ahead.
It looks like somebody went off track near Chris Herrera.
Hopefully that wasn't Oliver Hartley. We can check that out here. Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick, Decker and Torbeck both up 13 and 19 spots respectively from their starting positions. Great to see that. Check in here with Oliver Hartley. He was the
He's
only
doing
one
pretty
showing an
well.
off track that I could see. Just letting folks by. Yep. Staying out of the way. Got some more folks in pit road. We'll check back in here with the leaders. Edwin, James, Chris, Jack, Walter, Mike. Your top 6 have not pit, and Christian Perez, though, not sitting that far back from Mike Bowers in 6th place. So he's already worked his way back to 7th. Pete's in 8th. You can see here your pit strategy. Your top 6 have not pit at the moment. Pete's on, I would say, slightly newer tires. I guess that's not accurate, though. Edwin currently up 10 spots. And James and Chris. Edwin, oh, what is happening here? We've got, is that James Hauser going?
Oh, what happened?
Let's try to see what happened there.
Oh, who was like in the gate?
I don't, maybe he thought the slow up wouldn't be, Edwin wouldn't slow up quite that much. Let's see if we can't ride on board and.
Okay, let's see what happened.
He let off, just not quite enough room for James. Well, that might be it for James. Unfortunately, there are fast repairs. Just going to be depend on how long he has to tow for, quote unquote tow. The algorithm kind of decides that for you. We're riding along with Christian Perez now, who's opened up a 3.9 second gap over second place Pete Mulbroughton, and it's gonna be another 8 seconds, a little more than that, back to Edwin, who has captured the final podium spot for the minute. So, Jason Bice trying to work on Jack Moffitt. And it looks like most everybody has pit now, so this is... Bring that information down. It is showing James has not, however, we know that he is on his way.
One thing is, I hope everybody got enough fuel, because I know sometimes people don't. Like, they think they're going to get enough fuel, and then they realize that they don't have enough fuel until they're completely out.
This is true, and that is a gamble, and it's a tough thing to calculate. You know, there's a lot of folks who pull out the calculators and kind of get it down to try to make it a science, and there's other drivers who just kind of take what they need and hope for the best.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the total pit lane time for the drivers. That may give us a little bit of insight into what happened. Obviously, Pete and Christian's times are a little skewed there. That's obviously not correct. Adam Wright made some great time. Typically, you see in the 38 to 42 second range is kind of what I'm noticing. Normalized, this looks a little quicker than that. I think the entrance to this pit road is just a little faster, as well as the exit, so that makes sense. Might be a little shorter as well. But yeah, you can see some great times there. Walter Collada, additionally, hopefully making up some time there on pit road. Let's recognize the movers and shakers now, with total gains and losses. Got some double-digit movers up. Sean Trediak will be the first one there. He's currently sitting in the 16th or I'm sorry, 13th position. Jeffrey Decker up 10. Antoine Takache up 12. Jake Ashe up 10. That's great to see from Jake. Daniel Pagowski up 13. Pretty solid racing, and really the top 20 there all gaining quite a bit. So flipping the field here just a little bit. This is pretty much the closest racing, although I say that and we see Jeff Torbeck and Jeffrey Decker. Jeff's gonna send it. Oh, but so is Jeffrey. They both sent it just a touch wide in there into turn one. Just a touch. It looks like Jeff Torbeck is actually going to be able to make it out there pretty quickly with a fast rejoin. No contact. Back up here to Walter Collada, who's made contact with Jack Moffitt.
It looks like Jeff Torbeck and Jeffrey Decker both go off track near the King.
Yeah, that was the turn one incident there. They were racing each other and tried to outsend each other into turn one, and luckily no contact there, but able to make it back on the track and continue on. We do see a move from Jack Moffitt, passing some lap traffic. Jason Bice. Oh, Jack's gonna send it. He's gonna lock up his front brakes. He's also not going to make any contact, but that's gonna let Walter Collada slide by. Holy cow.
Most of this race has been pretty close racing.
Yeah, we've got some tight packs going on back here. Here's Don Parks working on Steve Dewar for that top 10 position, that coveted top 10. Steve Dewar making his way up 6 spots total for the evening. And that spin there that we just saw by Jack surprisingly keeps him at 0 off tracks for the night. Who would have thought? What a save. Looks like Steve's gonna be able to gap just a touch. Although Don is not giving up. Those turn exits onto those longer straightaways, even if they've got bends in them like that, are hugely important. Watch him come down the roller coaster, and then I think we need to check on Alexei Dronov and Jeff Torbeck. Seem to be also engaged in some pretty good racing. Actually, that's Sean Trediak, Alexei Dronov. A little further back here, this is P20, Peter Nodwell. He's got Paul Bachler on his 6 o'clock. Antoine Takache to his 12 o'clock. That looks like James Hauser right behind them after that pit road incident with Edwin. They're going to go 3 wide. Oh, man. Peter locks it up. They make contact, although I don't see too much damage there. It looks like everybody will continue on. Not too worse for the wear. Brad Miller's in pit lane once again. We'll bring up interval here. So instead of gap, this is interval, so you can see where the close racing is happening with me. Come back to Edwin Viarino, Viva Edwin. He's got Chris Herrera about 0.2 seconds Two very fast drivers. Unfortunately, they've got 9.5 seconds to go. Catch Pete. I do want to say we are approaching 6 minutes remaining. Let's go check in real quick with our friend up at the front, Christian Perez, and see if maybe he is having better luck. We'll look at the lap times between him and Pete. Christian setting the fastest lap on lap 19. And he is gapping Pete Mobrotten. There just does not seem to be any answer for Christian this evening. To the surprise of not many. Look back here at Pete. That's the gap. It's a little bit of hope there. Looks like Pete may have, Pete may have had a little bit of a misstep there on lap 17. But otherwise, making up time on Chris and Edwin. Does look like Don Parks was able to make it past Steve Dewar. So he's going to take that 10th position away from Steve. As we approach 5 minutes remaining. You see some pretty close racing, but nothing too crazy. Paul Bachler in 19th is leading a pretty good train of cars, all the way back to James Hauser in the 22nd position. James trying to recover what he can points-wise from the pit road incident. I'm sorry, I should say that's Jeffrey Decker up in front of this particular grouping of cars. Check back in with Jack Moffitt. He's there right on Jason Bice. I got to imagine he's going to be looking to take this too wide, to Walter Collada's delight. And Jason on the outside just doesn't have anything for him. He's going to watch Jack Moffitt take over 6th spot. Try to work on Walter Collada. Does look like we have another pass here. Justin Robello makes it past Steve Dewar. We're falling back just a touch to 12th spot now. Justin Rebello's got Don Parks, and it looks like he may be making up some pretty good time, at least momentarily. Nope, I stand corrected. Looks like Don's got him on the first 2 sectors at least. So what do you think, Max? We got some pretty good racing in the back of the field, but I don't know. I think Christian's got this in the bag.
Yeah. Honestly, I've just been flipping through, mainly checking in on Edwin Valerino, because I know he's been doing some pretty close racing this entire race. So, yeah.
Yeah, Edwin and Chris still battling it out for the final podium position. They got Oliver Hartley ahead of them.
Yeah, because it's like I got in fourth. I was almost on the podium. It's like you just want to get on the
Yeah,
podium.
it's just one spot, but it means a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Something we haven't had much of a chance to talk about so far, Max Giacomo, relative newcomer. He's gonna make his way, but he sends it just a little hot. Yeah, that turn one, that's tough. It's tough to pass. It's nice and wide, and it's inviting for a pass, but it's tough to find the right breaking point to not lock it up, spin it, send it too hot. So that is difficult, but Max is gonna keep Jeff in the rearview mirror for the time being. Works his way up to 15th. That's up 7 spots. Just ahead of him, Sean Trediak up 10 spots yet. He's sitting in 14th. As we work our way down to 40 seconds to go. All good things must come to an end. I do believe that this is the last lap.
Good luck all.
We are here with Christian Perez. Yeah, he's got, we'll go back to, yeah, up here. So this is all off the leader. Just a dominating performance this evening. He's got 9 seconds on Pete. Basically can coast it in from here. It looks like the closest battle yet remains Chris and Edwin, and looks like Jason Bice and Jack Moffitt. So we'll pop in with these guys a little further back. Jack Moffitt trying to take 6 away from Jason Bice.
Oh my gosh, I just realized something so hilarious and kind of humiliating.
What's that?
I've been watching 2 laps behind, and you've been talking about all these crashes and stuff, and I've been like, what are you talking about? and then they occur, and I'm
Watching
like,
the replay
oh.
part?
Yeah, I didn't realize that I was still watching 2 laps ago.
Alright, well, here we are, folks. This is Christian Perez spinning it across, finishing backwards. He will take the win. Nice job by Christian there. We do have Pete Mobranton sitting comfortably in second. And Thomas Fotos is also going to cross the line in 24. So it looks like Chris is going to take it at the line from Edwin. Nice job getting that final podium spot. And Viva Edwin, as always. Walter Collada, Jason Bice, Jack Moffitt.
Christian Perez is now a Land Rover.
He's taking it off-road, huh?
Yes.
Looks like Adam Wright, Don Parks, and Justin Rubello will be next. 1, 2, 3 right there. Nice finish, gentlemen. Steve Dewar crossing in 12th. Alexei Dronov in 13th with nobody around him. And you can see some of these other cars who are a lap or so down. Sean Trediak, Max Giacomo, and Jeff Torbeck. And Joshua Dancy. Looks like next will be James Hauser. And Paul Bachler trying to make the pass at the end. Can't quite make it. Carl Dronke. Peter Nodwell. Antoine Decache is going to cross in 22nd. And Decker, working his way around the final corner, will be the final car to finish on the... Oh, no, he's just going into the pits. Okay. Let's see who's still out there. Jeff Zubovich. Like he'll be crossing the line here, finishing 31st. I think that's exactly where he started. So that's good to see. Chris Herrera also crossing. Not to be outdone. Not to be outdone. Looks like some of the leaders making their way around one last time. See what's going on with that. competition is ensuing.
Christian Perez is having way too much fun right now.
He is definitely enjoying himself. As he should after that dominating win.
He did very well.
And we'll bring Ian back in here to the interview booth.
Hello,
As we
hello.
watch
Hello.
Christian doing his very large. I don't even know if they're burnouts. He's just having a grand old time though.
Like 3 minutes ago, well, not 3 minutes ago, but like 30 seconds ago, he was being a Land Rover. He just didn't even go on the track the entire lap.
Well, let's bring up.
Oh.
We'll bring up the results here. I think we've kind of already seen most of it, but congratulations once again to Christian Perez taking home the W. Pete Mobrotin will finish second, and Chris Herrera takes home the final podium spot. Nothing wrong with the bronze medal. He's followed closely by Edwin, Walter, and Jason, Jack, Mike. I don't know why Adam's name isn't showing up right there, but Don Parks will round out your top 10, and I will let you see the rest. That he is the king of VIR, so he's doing whatever he would like.
Clearly.
Well, that was
a great race
and a half.
That was, yeah, that must have been quite a white knuckle adventure. We had a little trouble keeping up with everything, but you know, once things kind of got sorted out there a little bit, it looks like we had some good battles throughout the field, which we've come to expect from this group. A little bit of you know, back marker trying to get around them. Curious to see you know, kind of what the analysis of that is. I know there's been a lot of attention toward that as of late, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it was very difficult for both the back markers and I think the front runners.
Well, I'm doing my best to try to figure out how to do this new thing that I'm trying to show off to everybody, but it's not working. What are you gonna do? All right. Well,
but I will say, my gosh, there was a lot of cars in that race.
That's a small track and a lot of cars. That is true. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's bring in Chris Herrera, because I know he's got some folks watching at home that probably want to hear him talk and not us talk, because they've heard enough of that for today. But hey, Chris, a great battle at the end there, especially with Edwin. That is no easy task. How did you feel about the race today overall?
Overall, first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Cool. Overall, I felt pretty good. I obviously had that huge mistake early on. I don't remember if it was the first or the second lap. But, you know, I came back and I got my first podium of the season, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and you earned it too. That, I mean, holding off Edwin there is no easy task, as we said before. Looks like your teammate kind of had an issue on pit road there too, so you guys didn't really have each other for much of it. Although I guess neither did Christian and Edwin. But did you guys have a plan going into it necessarily, or
no, not as much, because this was a closed qualifier, so we didn't have the opportunity to draft off each other. So not much practice for that. So earlier in the race, before James crashed into Edwin going into the pits, I think I was catching up with that group, and we were in communication with each other just to make sure that we knew where we were. But then, unfortunately, Edwin either ran out of gas or slowed a little bit early going into the pits, and James, I don't think, was expecting it, so he crashed into him. And unfortunately, he was in the pits and had to tow, so he lost 2 minutes there, and then he was just out of it at that point.
Yeah, it was tough to see exactly what happened. It was clearly just something that James was not expecting to go down, because he's definitely not. Yeah, I don't see him as either one of those drivers really as the type to do anything. Not that I would say it was intentional or anything like that, but you know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
trying to say. It just looked like a goofy kind of thing, and the touch wheels and in a Skippy when you're going that speed,
Yep,
you
absolutely.
become airborne. So there you go. Well, that's great. So did this Virginia, is this a track that you typically like? I feel like we've had this conversation before where you raced here and it was one of your first times actually on it. Am I thinking of the wrong track?
Yeah, so I don't remember if it was last season or the season before. We did this course in the full version, and that was the first time I had done it. So this is the second week that I've done this course. It was sort of like learning a whole new one because it's the short version, and that means learning some new turns. And also, when you get to the end of the track that meets up with the full track, you're going at a different speed. So it's sort of like whole new turns for there as well. But it was fun, and I had a lot of good public races this week, so I felt pretty confident. And then I'm happy with the third place, especially considering I had that spin out at the end of the lap 1 or 2 or so.
Yeah, I mean that's if I have to make 0 mistakes whatsoever to even consider like a top 20, so that's really fantastic racing. You obviously had a very fast car, and it was fun watching you guys as well. From our perspective, Ian, Max, you guys got anything for Chris?
I thought he performed very well. Good job.
Thanks, Max.
Third place is very well. I know I couldn't get third place even if I tried. So
yeah, I've been watching the previous broadcasts, and you've been doing a good job too. I hear you're going to be joining us soon once you get your Skippy feet under your legs.
Well, first of all, I have to learn how to drive. But yeah, I hope one day I'll be in Skippy League.
Well, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
I don't know if I am though, because I have a feeling that when he's in here, he's gonna be beating me as like everybody else does.
Well, here's the real question: are you two going to join a team together?
Oh, or are we not?
I don't quite know how to answer that particular question at this time.
I think that answers that.
I think we know the answer to that. Well, you know, I'm just looking at the standings here, and you are the guys right in front of you, Jonathan Dance, Carl Dronke, and well, I guess Pete was up there, but they did not have the races that they wanted to today. So I'm curious to see how all this kind of shakes out for you. You may gain a spot or two on the overall standings here as well, in addition to getting your first podium in Sunday Night Skippy. So
I haven't actually been paying attention to the overall standings since last week, since I didn't even finish the race. So I have no idea how far I dropped, but I feel good about today. So it's a good day.
Awesome. Well, you have any shout outs to give?
As always, running on empty. Well, Danny and Frank and Jason and Jenny and Isla and Brady.
Awesome. Well, they were out in force for you tonight, and
actually, sorry, I hate to interrupt, but I don't want to waste too much time. But Isla, who is Jason and Jenny's daughter, both she and her younger brother Brady do oval racing in mini midgets, and Isla, I think, got some trophies today on their first dirt course. So shout out to Isla.
Nice, outstanding, and that's in real life.
Oh yeah, that's IRL.
Nice. Awesome. Well, congratulations to Isla there. That's so awesome. I really waited. My parents were great, but man, parents that support getting you into racing and going out there and doing that, earn some trophies. That is fantastic.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Cool. Well, I think I've taken up enough of you guys' time. So thank you. Thanks for everything you do. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good job.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
See you. All right. Well, next I think we've got to bring in Christian, who I'm surprised he did not fall asleep up there because he was up so much. But we'll ask him what he thought. Christian, you got a good copy on us? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Yeah, just waking up from your nap there, huh?
Yeah. No.
So you were able to get out there to an early lead, avoid the crashes there, that the early race spin that happened. I don't know, we weren't listening into the iRacing audio, even though I had plans to, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. I don't know what sort of words were being thrown around at the end, but yeah, you were able to just kind of get out front and stay out front. It was how'd that feel for you today?
Well, thank you, Chris. Well, was not I don't know how to say this in English. Not easy, just quite
Okay,
no.
yeah.
Tranquila is in
Not as
Spanish.
easy
Okay.
as it seems.
No, we just went out with Pete, and then I pit a little bit earlier just to try to break that gap with Pete, and I made it, and then I think that Pete got molested by two um, cars that were lap. Maybe
Mm.
that I could just go away more easily, but well, it was a really good race. Congratulations to Pete and to Chris to hold on Edwin, and that was pretty amazing. So
Mhm.
congratulations to them and to you.
Yeah, we did notice you take the pit early. I wasn't sure if you were trying to maybe meet back up with Edwin on the other side of the pit stops, but that makes sense that you were able to basically break up the pacing with Pete, so you weren't giving him that that target, to kind of focus
Yeah.
on. So that's yeah, no, it's really good. That's cool to hear the strategy that was involved there. And yeah, it looks like you had a pretty good pit time, but this is with that many cars, there's a lot of cars on this track, and even though it is
Yes.
wide, the racing line isn't huge, so it is very tough. We saw some cars just pulling off to the side of the road into the grass to try to let leaders by at some point. So yeah, that definitely added a element of difficulty there. We do have a team moving chicane competing, although I don't know if they were specifically the moving chicanes, but that was fun to see. So yeah, we were just talking to Chris. It was awesome. Edwin and Chris had a great battle there at the end, and holding off Edwin is no easy task. So that was great to see. Although of course, Viva Edwin. But we've got,
Viva, viva.
gosh, what? I'm gonna bring up the schedule here real quick while we're talking to you, because I always like to ask you. I mean, you don't
Next,
seem to have any
next is
issues
Laguna
with
Seca.
any ones that are showing up. Oh, Laguna Seca, that's right. So,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on there? I don't. It's one of the
Uh,
original free tracks on the service, right? So you've probably done it
yes.
once or twice, but yeah.
Well, I don't race too much there. I only have 1 year here on iRacing, so I like that track because I ran it a lot of time ago on the Gran Turismo. But on
Okay.
iRacing, meh, meh. Well, I had to practice to chase a little bit of pace, but well, I hope that it will be okay, at least on the podium.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never raced it in the Skip Barber. Of course, you raced it in the Mazda, and I've raced in
Yeah,
other cars before
me
too.
neither.
Though I'm curious to see what it's like in that car. I know some of the more experienced drivers in the league are not happy to be racing there next week, but we will see. It's pretty famous at least, so people will recognize it, which is pretty cool. So. Cool. Well, all right, Christian. It was great talking to you once again. Big congratulations. You dropped a little bit in the standings just because you missed the race, but we have not done the drop races yet
Yeah,
or
I
anything
know. I
like that.
had
So I
vacations.
imagine.
I had vacations. So
I know
free free weekend last week.
you're
No
taking
racing.
vacations on us. I see. It's
Yeah.
all about the Sunday Night Skippy, Christian. Come on. No, that's
My
good.
life depends on it.
That's right. That's right. Well, no, I'm glad it looks like the time off did you well. It looks like you're relaxed and ready to go
Yep.
for the rest of the season. So that's awesome. Well, thank you very much, and have a great night.
Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations, mate.
Yeah,
Thank you,
good
Ian.
job on getting first place.
Thanks, Max. Well, see you guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
anymore?
So Chris,
Yeah, we've actually got league admin and
P6.
Man, I had something good. I had something good in P6 extraordinaire, I guess.
Yes.
I
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Jason, you sound like you're saying that with a smile on your face.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I was very scared about this race.
Why would you say that, Jason? I don't know.
Oh, it's just it's
a
packed track. Yeah.
You know, and that bore out, and you know, we mentioned this on the broadcast to other folks, but you know, it's once in some senses it was good, those early race incidents, if you want to call it good, to stretch everything out, but at the same time, then you start working into the back marker issue, and I think this was one of the tracks that this was one of the discussions about how to handle back markers and communication came up, was this exact track. So I was curious to see how it'd work out, and I don't know. You know, there was a couple I'm sure you guys will take a look at, but I'd say for the most part, I don't know. I can't say that from what I saw, it looked like at least race results weren't going to be severely. I was more worried about the leaders and that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, no, it seemed to be all right. But you did, yeah. Sorry, back to you in your race, up 7 spots to P6, and you were battling there with Jack and Walter, I believe, toward the end, who aren't any slouches themselves. So talk us through what your mindset was going toward the checkered there.
My mindset was to convince them to cooperate with me. So thankfully they did. That's my strategy is get them with kindness. So yeah, we worked together quite a bit until the last couple of laps. You know, Walter had pace, I think, on both Jack and I. I think Jack and me are a dead heat on that track. So you're happy to trade spots with him. And happy to let Walter kind of pull us around a little bit, and then just let the dust settle on the last couple of laps. You know, really through no fault of Jack's own. He got separated a little bit at the end. Not his fault, and not the back marker's fault. Just, you know, the way everything shook out. It was just unfortunate, but you know, had a really good time battling them. So got to race with Herrera a little bit. And then I didn't because he left. He did not want to cooperate. So
he did not want to. Yeah.
No.
Because Chris, right?
Yeah. But
he didn't want to put the cargo. He didn't want to throw the cargo strap back at you.
Right. He wasn't carrying
along.
a bunch of cords. Right. So yeah. So.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, it was a pretty dominating win by Christian. Just coming off of some vacation, nice and relaxed. It was good to see him do well, and yeah, it was great racing throughout. You know, you guys had a little pack there, and then further down throughout the field, we had quite a few battles that were going on. That was just kind of fun to watch. It was Steve Dewar was he had a P10 in his hands and just couldn't hang on to it. It was kind of fun to watch those races back there as well. So for all the shenanigans and what have you that may have occurred, I think there was still some good stories that came out of it. So it's fun to watch.
Sounds like my race was pretty tame compared to a lot of other people. So I look forward to watching the broadcast.
Yeah, I had a half of mine, so I've got I was trying out some new features, and one is, you know, how they do on the F1 where they have the name and the little audio wave, you know, the waveform that pops up when people are talking. So I was thinking, maybe we could sneak in and listen to the iRacing channel from time to time, like what the drivers are saying. Nothing planned, just kind of listen in. And I was like, man, I don't think we're gonna do that for this particular race. There seemed to be a lot of bumping and banging going on. So I think not that I would expect anything. Not that I would expect anything from our league to anybody from our league to put us on a TVMA rating or anything, but you never know. But yeah, we'll try that. We'll try that next time. I'm sure there's going to be no crashes at Laguna Seca, and
none.
Should be fine.
No. I mean, they took the corkscrew out, right?
But yeah, I think they widened it a little bit. It's fine.
That's good. Yeah, flatten it out.
Right.
But
Oh boy. Well, you guys. I'm sorry. I've been kind of dominating the discussions here. Ian, Max, you guys got anything?
I don't know. I'm really tired. I can't really think right now.
me too, kid. Me too.
Feel ya. I feel ya.
It was a good race. I don't know. The first few laps there was some definite issues, but then there were 40 odd cars trying to get round T1, T2, T3, T4.
Yeah.
Given what we did,
It's gonna happen.
I'll tell you what, Jason. When you get the first thing, you have a look like from one of the TV cameras at the start finish straight when we're all lined up ready to go, you'll suddenly go, "Oh my gosh,
how did we all do this?" Yeah, we actually capped tonight's race below what the track would support, just in case it got absolutely insane. And turn 3 and turn 4, turn 3 especially, makes me really nervous on early laps because it's hard to take anyway on cold tires. But that seems to be a line that a lot of people struggle with. It's kind of a weird line until it clicks. It's a corner that can be rounded out a lot. But even after a week racing there, you'll still see people, do the traditional, stand up on the brakes, crank it left, and then stomp it. And when you mix those two things together, you're going to get a lot of collisions. We even saw it in a 2K race earlier today, which Christian won as well. he's running the table today. But yeah, same exact thing. People take that turn differently, and on cold tires, it's just that times 10. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, but I agree, Max. I am tired. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good race though.
Yeah, it was a very good race. I had a blast. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, thanks again. It was you guys, you and Ian, you brought in some other folks too, and I apologize you mentioned them. I think Walter as stewards. I mean,
yeah.
Don Parks, of course James Hauser. You guys put on a fantastic product here, and just we say it often, but just wanted to reiterate that appreciate what you guys do. I don't know if people really truly understand the amount of time that you have to put into it, not only just to make it run, but then make it run this smoothly on top of that. And it's tough, especially during these times in general. But then it's yeah. Anyway, I just want to say thanks to all you guys for putting on a great show, a great race, and I look forward to Laguna Seca and seeing some awesome battling throughout the field once again.
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
Good job.
Thank you. And obviously thanks to Ian and James and Don and Walter. Huge team effort. Really appreciate everything that everybody does, and the membership. What I'm starting to see, and you're probably seeing this as well, is the members are taking a lot of ownership of the league and Discord, and helping out on those practice nights. We get practice sessions that I'm not running, James isn't running it, Ian isn't running it. They just kind of took on a life of their own in a very positive way. So that's been fantastic.
And in fact, we should probably promote that a little bit, because we're having practice nights, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights, and they're open to anybody who wants to join in. They need to come into our Disco, because that's where the password's published for them. But I think they're pretty much open for most people. So if anybody else listening is interested in having a go, come on down.
Yeah, it's a great way to get a taste of the culture for the league and the kind of racing that we're trying to promote. And a lot of the fast guys, they're in all of those practice sessions, and they're more than eager to share their ideas and help people out. We do some things in those practice sessions, like reverse grids, that kind of take people out of their comfort zone and make them look at how other people drive in a different way, which I think has been it's been very educational for me. I've gotten faster just having been in those practice sessions. So there's a lot to get out of those.
Yeah, if you want to stretch the value of your iRacing subscription costs, I think that that's a huge way to do it. And it doesn't cost you a dime. It's done by these folks who do it out of the goodness of their heart, and it's to your point, super educational. It puts you in those positions, like you said, with you're still racing. I don't want to downplay it too much, but it's low threat in terms of it's a practice still. Like at the end of the day, it's a practice, and that's the reason that we're doing it. So it's a great opportunity that you're not going to get in the organic iRacing, software model that they have. So outside of AI, which is great, but has its limits.
For sure.
Certainly.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for everything
Jason,
you guys do. Yep. Have a good one.
Well done. E6.
Thank you.
All right, that was Jason Bice, E6 team admin.
Is
always
Jason
fun to
Bryce,
talk to him.
like head admin of Saturday Night Skippy or something?
I think it depends on who you ask.
The answer to that is yes.
I would say yes. Yeah, no, of course, Ian, you do a ton of work as well as does James. Jason is definitely a hardworking guy, and when I get to peek behind the curtain at some of the stuff that happens on the admin side, and when there's a rule change, that's what I was trying to communicate to folks, is the amount of time and effort that he puts into drafting just the ideas behind what's the best way to move forward, because there's this perceived need for change from the league, but you gotta do it smartly. And just the time and effort that he puts into some of those proposals and all that is just hope people, if you're still watching, just know that and appreciate it. So
yeah, we do put a lot of time and effort into it, and in fact, there's a big one coming up. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to start, but we've been really discussing changing the whole qualifying to try and make it more fun and more interesting for people who are watching. And we're trying to figure out how we can do an F1 style qualifying process. I think we talked a little bit about this the other day, but we're still working on it. And to the point where people are looking at writing code that will help manage the process inside of the sim to give us a proper F1 style grid system. That's crazy. There's a lot of work being done.
Yeah, no, and you're not going to get that many other places, if anywhere else. So stay tuned for that. I'm hopeful that we can get something like that working. I say I'm hoping you guys can get something like that working. I am not a programmer. I have no idea. I wouldn't even know where to start. I can barely get my computer turned on. So, yeah.
So before we go, Chris, because we're getting to the end, how did Max do?
Yeah. Max did fantastic, and I guess a thank you to you as well. The hardwired internet seemed to do just the trick.
Yeah,
but
nothing lagged at all.
But outside of that, Max is we're getting into it. We're getting into a rhythm. So definitely well done there.
Yeah, because this was the first time I had me able to hear you all talking. I was sort of sitting in my own head the whole race, which was very odd. But
were you broadcasting to nobody in particular? Just to...
Exactly. I was doing a lot of yelling and banging the steering wheel. As like Grace, across the lawn.
I was looking for opportunities to drag you in, but there never seemed to be a great one. Just based on the way things were going. So
that's totally fine. That's totally fine. No, awesome. I'm glad. And did you have fun, Max? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I'm really tired. Can I go to bed?
It's cool when they ask to go to bed, isn't it?
I know, right? Oh, good times. Well, yeah. Was that the question? How Max did?
Yeah, that was. I just wanted to hear how he was doing and if he's still having fun, and if there's.
Yes, I am still having fun.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well done, Max.
That's the important. That is definitely the important part. But the quality of the broadcast is also high. So As long as you're enjoying it, then that's all there is to it.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, I think we've talked the viewers' ears off enough. I too, just like Max and Jason, are ready to go to bed. So why don't we say good night to all our awesome viewers out there? I'll keep the stream up for just a little bit, as we all know. Twitch, you can watch video on demand immediately afterwards, but YouTube does that whole processing thing. So I'll leave the stream up a little bit so you can jump in there and rewind, so you don't have to wait for that, because who knows how long that'll take. I guess final goodbyes. Max, what do you got?
I thought that was a very good race. I love how everyone performed. I'm excited for next weekend.
Fantastic. Ian, what do you got? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I thought it was a good race.
Yeah, good job, guys. I am not excited for next weekend. I am not a huge fan of Laguna Seca, especially that stupid corkscrew. But I guess we'll have to cut our teeth on that. I'm trying really hard to do every single track this season, so run every track.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not looking forward to Laguna Seca, which normally I look forward to these tracks. So maybe not looking forward to it means that I'll do better. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to the broadcast next weekend. Same bat time, same bat channel, and with all of us. Hopefully there'll be Megan might join us again, which will be awesome. But I know she's really busy, so can't always have that. And give you guys a bit of a break to have an extra person in the booth. It was weird not being in there.
Give the viewers a break.
Well, there you go. It was weird not being in there today, so we'll try that maybe at Laguna Seca just to add a bit more confusion to my head.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, Nope. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Laguna Seca, mainly because I don't have to race it, but I will probably try to get at least a public race in or so, just to. I always try to do that when able, but it was one of the first road courses I ever did, so that's why I kind of enjoy it, but I can understand why people wouldn't. And
not a lot of people like it anyway.
That's right. But yeah, other than that, I hope everybody has a fantastic week. We look forward to seeing you 7 days from now. As Ian said, same bat time, same bat channel. And we will be coming to you live from California and bringing you some 42 car, 40-minute action
Oh my
in the
gosh,
Skip Barber series. So, yeah.
There's so many cars.
Looking forward to it. All right, so from all of us at Cavalcade Racing Network, have a good night, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Good night. Have a good one.
Good night, all.